Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Got one of my favorite people to talk to, Sissy Lappin, on. She's with LappinProperties.com. More importantly, she is Prestige Properties editor for the national news website, USDailyReview.com. Sissy, as always, glad to get you on the program.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here today. There's a lot going on.
There is. So why don't you kind of tee it up for us by talking a little bit about your firm, and then kind of give us jump right in with an overview of some of the stuff that's going on that our audience needs to be aware of.
Okay, we are a boutique firm in Houston. We specialize in certain areas of Houston. We don't try to be an end-all, be-all, jack-of-all-trades real estate firm. I've been doing this for 32 years, and I will tell you this. I am proud to say I have only had one client who ever sold their house for less money than they paid for it. And interesting enough, he was a Merrill Lynch broker and wouldn't listen. Not that brokers are bad guys, but anyway, you know, we have a great track record. We try to get the buyers to look at their homes as, you know, a business, not just an emotional. We so many times buy a home kind of like we pick a date, you know, based on the glitz of the granite countertop and that sort of thing. So you've got to look at the whole picture. Is it a wise business decision? And that's what we try to educate our buyers with. And we also are proud to say in 3 of the top neighborhoods in Houston in 2013, we had the highest price per square foot resale. So we are also getting top dollars for our sellers.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's fantastic.
Yes. Well, thank you. And once again, we're going to be named to the Houston Business Journal list of most expensive homes that comes out in March. But we just found out this will be our 3rd year we've been named to it. So life is good. Life is good.
Life is good. So tell us a little bit about what's on your mind today. You always bring a great topic for us to be cognizant of, that we need to be cognizant of.
Well, there's a couple things to touch on real quick. You know, the key word in this market is inventory, and inventory is at an all-time low, and it is driving the market. We've got multiple offers on homes, and interesting enough, you know, when I've seen multiple offer situations below, it was usually, I hate to say, you'd have 50%, I called them the flake contracts. You know, it was some investor trying to buy it at 60 cents or 70 cents on the dollar or get you to seller finance. That is not the case. Every contract, they're very qualified buyers. And the reason is about 60% of this market is people that have moved into Houston. These are professionals. You know, they're quality jobs. They're with oil companies, accounting firms, law firms. It's kind of the support staff for the petroleum industry. So inventory is low. That is one thing, you know, that we are facing. Although I think now is a great time to put your house on the market because I think we'll have a little bit more inventory in April, and you know we won't have 5, 7, 8 multiple offers. I think in April when we have more homes, it'll be 1 or 2 offers. So I think if anybody is thinking about selling, put your house on the market today because you have very little competition right now.
Very good. I love that. That's great advice. The market seems extraordinarily hot. And although I think there's a little bit of danger of it cooling, particularly in other parts of the country, I don't see it happening anytime soon in Houston.
You know, Kevin, I can tell you this, though. I just got back from a business convention, and I went to this in January of 2008, and I came back and said the stock market's going to have a correction, and everybody thought, you know, you'd have thought I came back and was purple. And there were 6 economists that spoke at this, and it was a divided group, 3 and 3. I went to the same thing, and keep in mind, this conference is $8,000 to go to, so it's not, you know, where it's people who are very interested in the economy because they pay that kind of money. All
Sure.
6 said, we're going to have a correction this year. Now, they felt it was in the summer, and 2 weeks ago when I got back, I had dinner with my family, and I said, you know, they said they felt it might be the summer. And I got a call, I guess it was on Monday, from my brother, and he goes, well, they kind of called it a little short. So it's going to be, you know, because we're seeing this correction, although I really don't think this is our big correction. And, that, you know, I'm not an economist. I don't claim to be. But if the correction happens, even in a boom town, we're going to feel it. When the stock market goes down, I don't care where you are still going to feel it. It affects people.
Yeah, and no question about it.
And if that does happen, we are going to be affected. Will we be affected as bad as, other cities? Absolutely not. But it will affect the housing market here.
Yeah, no question about it. Grateful, though, to be here, as I know you are as well. Great. Always great having you on. Always love your topics. Particularly love it when you're both bringing that macro insight of what's happening in the economy. And you did know it. You've been saying for a couple of months on this show that correction was imminent, and we're living it right now. And I agree with you. It's not the big one. The big one is the other shoe has yet to drop, as they say. But you've been your prognosis has been very wise, and I love how you've been able to figure out how to apply that, not only to look at the economy, but how to look at what's happening in the real estate front and helping your clients with that in a very tactical way. I want to give you a chance to, again, mention your website for people to learn more about your practice, your firm.
Okay, and can I touch on one more thing about this?
Got about a minute left. Left. Go right ahead.
About 20% of the people there were doctors. And you're interesting enough, you're not seeing doctors leave the medical field. You're seeing them open these wellness clinics. There were 15 cardiologists. They're opening a heart wellness clinic. And so that's where we're going to see the shortage of doctors, not necessarily retiring like I thought it would be, where they're opening concierge medicine and doing it more of independent private practice is what you're going to see, I think, the big trend where we're going to have the shortage of doctors.
Actually, we do have some retiring, though, and in fact, you and I are going to be doing a series of interviews based on your schedule. We've already, I think, began to reach out to you about doing those with some of those doctors on what's ahead. But you're right. They went to school for a long time. They accumulated a large debt, and they have passion for what they do, or they wouldn't become a medical doctor. You got to be passionate to become a doctor. There's no question about it. So they're going to try to figure out what they can do to make a living and take care of their family and take care of themselves. And even, if you listen to the government, you wouldn't think it mattered to them. But most importantly, to take care of their patient, because they have a responsibility and they know that. And really, Obamacare gets in the way of that. And so they're going to try to figure out how to take care of their patient without the context of Obamacare. Sissy Lappin, she's awesome. You can learn more about her at lappinproperties.com. She can also be found at the national news website, usdailyreview.com, one of the fastest growing for influence, according to technowadi.com and web2go.com. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much, Kevin, and you guys have a great day.
You too. When we come back, much more for you. Do you want to remind you, best content here is over there at usdailyreview.com.